Hello and welcome to this episode of Range Woodworking, where today we build a tool organiser to go from this to this with this. This is a really quick and cheap project to build, using less than a quarter of a sheet of plywood. That makes it less than $10 with this construction grade 12.5mm plywood. So I get my sacrificial tabletop down and plywood on top of that before measuring out a quarter of a sheet. I set my angle guide to 90 degrees and prepare to cut. Whoa! Look out, ninja about. And nailed the dismount. Using the cut map on my phone, I lay out all the pieces and make sure I write the dimensions of each piece on also. That way, when everything moves about a bit with the final cut due to the saw curve and other things, I can still get accurate sizes of the pieces I want. A few rough cuts with the track saw. And then we're off to the table saw to cut everything to size. First things first, I rip to the widths and then use my crosscut sled to cut the pieces to length. And after a dramatic YouTube drop of everything on the workbench, I lay everything out to plan for the rabbits and dados. I use a rabbiting bit in the router table where I can, making a right mess in the process, and then set up for my 5mm deep dados using a 5mm drill bit for the depth. Then I cut away the dados using a 1/2" compression bit. The majority of construction on this is glue and pin nails, and the dados and rabbits should add a lot of strength also. For the hammer/tape holder, I'm going to use some through dowels. So I'll drill for these on the drill press and then make the dowels using my usual method. In this case, I'm cutting sticks of pine down on the table saw till they're a bit larger than I need. Use a block plane to get started. And next I go through the sizes in my dowel plate with a drill until I get the diameter I want after a little sanding. Perfect. Attach this stage in place with some glue and pins again, and then we're on to the next one. This will be the screwdriver and assorted other bits hanger. I measure a center line and then drill the holes out. And then it's time to practice my hand tool skills, cutting straight lines down to free the pieces up. To hang the pliers and nippers and grips, etc., I'm going to use a domino joiner in a bit of an off-label way. By no means do you need a domino. In fact, a dowel would be as effective and probably easier in every way. But I digress. I've measured the point I want the domino to cut through and made an extra long domino by rounding over the edges on a strip cut to thickness. This is then a nice push fit into the domino mortise. For these adjustable spanners, I'm going to hang them through another strip that I've mortised at 45 degrees. I measure the thickness and width of each and write it down before drilling out the mortise. A quick tidy up with a file and they're good to go. At this point I realised I missed a dado back in the early stages, so my screwdriver hanger won't sit in properly. I quickly route out another dado and glue and pin the hanger in. Now if you're using better plywood than this awful construction ply, you might not have this issue, but I've made a potato chip. I'm going to glue and screw these hardwood strips to the sides in an effort to straighten it out, but it's not perfect. Whoa! Good thing this wasn't toast, or it would have landed glue side down. I'll weigh these down flat whilst the glue sets up and go have a coffee. Now it's the home stretch. I offer it up in place and mark where the French cleats will go. Then I make some French cleats off camera, and you guessed it, I'll glue and pin them in place, using a square to ensure that the finished organiser will sit level on the wall. Showtime! This is already making a huge difference in my workshop. Not only is it decluttering this secondary workbench, it's also encouraging me to put things back away when I've finished using them. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, take it easy.